room to change here.
That is
So
so
do you guys think until
cool.
I decide really what I want to do with my railing, I should paint them back to the trim color or the house color and make them go away?
Unplanned, we all have the same gray t-shirts
You want
on,
to take them off? I'll help you redo them.
and we're exhausted Friday afternoon.
Painting like ninjas at Stonehurst to get the hell out of there.
Cheers! To add to my gardens, there's a few other things that I already brought over to add, little annuals. I'm super excited that I was able to find oregano, because oregano is the one thing that I wasn't able to have in my garden recently. So I usually put my herbs in the garden closest to the house. So we do have a few herbs in our regular garden. I have thyme that grows everywhere around my house. And now I'm adding oregano right next to the house.
So growing up, we always had chores to do around the house, and one of them was planting flowers in the garden. I loved it. I loved to garden as a kid. I was always out there with my mom planting all the vegetable gardens, and I think it brought so much joy seeing what came back the following year that I had planted, and it was just always a really sweet time that I got to spend with my mom. I think what's really encouraging now is I have a house of my own, and I'm starting to plant the flowers that I did as a kid, and I think it just brings a sense of home to my new house. I love lamb's ear. I always used to touch, you know, how soft they were on my fingers as a child. I remember just sitting in my mom's bed and asking them what they were, and it was always the only flower I could ever remember the name of. And now I get to do that with my daughter, and we go on walks and she sees it and she says it's a lamb's ear, and I think what was around our house and what we were planting. Mulching the garden.
No worries, don't worry. Darcy has to look at this. I wanted to share a little bit about my hair. Clearly, it's a disaster. We are calling this COVID hair. I sort of gave up a little bit because my hair is hard to manage. It's sort of thick and coarse and can go all kinds of places, and I have to use products, and if I don't blow dry it and do all this stuff to it, it's like curly and frizzy. This is sort of manageable because I haven't washed it in a couple days or longer. But we definitely are in desperate times, and at the same time our hairdresser has decided to stay home with her little baby. Buddy coming to do this mop, which I was really good at managing it for a little while, but I got up too early, and I get up too early some days, and so I got this cover up, which it did work. Now, if I could just wash it and manage that part of it, it probably won't be too bad. I have cut my bangs twice or 3 times. My friends say that I need to keep them a little bit longer, but I don't really care that much. And I really should care a little bit more, but I don't. Oh, I should just start with showering more often. And I do brush it every morning. My friends don't believe me, but I do. But I never brush it in the middle of the day. But it's probably a good practice to start. My mother would die if she ever saw this video. And my skin is super dry. Super dry. And I need some deodorant. But you don't need to smell that, so lucky you.
So, I didn't realize that we were doing hygiene videos now, but I love your video, Kimmy. It's like everything you ever needed to know about Kimmy in one video. Yep. Doesn't comb her hair, doesn't wash her hair, doesn't wear deodorant, doesn't shower daily, or every other day. Never quite sure how all that's going to shake out. Amy, well, that's a personal story. She can tell her own. Kimmy opened the door, so I'm in. I shower every day. And I wear deodorant. Actual deodorant. Not some kind of crystal stick that you rub under your armpits because it doesn't cause cancer. Everyone in my family has worn deodorant for like 100 years. I don't know. Has deodorant been around that long? Anyway, no one's died of armpit cancer yet. Kimmy, I work with you every day. Try the real stuff. As far as your bangs go, they look cute the length they are. You look like a second grader when they're up to here. I mean, you can take a survey. You're beautiful, it doesn't really matter. But you do look sort of like a little kid when your bangs are like an inch above your eyebrows. You know, I know times are desperate. You look pretty good every day. I mean, I wear the same shirt every day, so who am I to talk, really? But I shower. I do shower. So.
First outdoor shower of the season. It's a little chilly, but my son's using my bathtub. Here we go. Project for the day, building this ridiculous elevated garden bed, which I have put together, taken apart, put together and taken apart, kind of like my knitting. The problem is the instructions are shit. It's 4 steps on the box, and if you rip the box open in it, whatever. We'll see how it all turns out. Right now, it's a pile of wood. Christ. When I said I should get a new profession, I meant one that won't let me be home so much, and I can work from home. Because then all I do is find crap to do around my house, and it's getting a little old. And as far as my showering practices, well, we'll talk about those later.
Feeling like I wanted to paint gold, and I do have this similar color on my doors, and I really love it. And I have actually this color in a small room, and I like it a lot too. But I kept feeling like I should paint the walls, I should paint the walls. Well, then the pandemic hit, and I painted the walls in February. I know it seems ridiculous that I would keep changing this color, but I'm the one that has to look at it, and I'm already tired of it, for sure. So, sadly, it does take work, but I am a painter, so not that big of a deal, just a little bit of a pain in the ass. It's like a bad marriage. A short marriage, kind of like my first one. I decided that I was gonna do white. And it's actually called cloud white. It has yellow in it because my trim is not white. It is like a gray, creamy gray, which I really love the trim, so I didn't want to change any of my trim. So you'll see, I painted both sides, and I am going to paint this back wall and the back triangle on the other side of where you are. So, see what you think. I did traumatize one of my friends.
can't wait to open the package, so I can't wait to see. Darce found this through a YouTube person. Proven Winners makes it, and it was a little delayed. It was supposed to be here the 1st of May, but it has arrived. Hi there, Amy, room to change here. I am, you all saw a little video of my screen in porch, and my quality was poor and we lost a bunch of views. But in that process, I have our gas grill that's inside with propane piped right to it. And the ceiling was disgusting, as was that trim board, which I've tried forever to clean it with hot water, power washing, the whole thing. And I realized this year, easy off oven cleaner. But what I did was, it's because above it was disgusting all the time. I painted it, but I didn't have the color that I had used originally, which you can see the difference. So this is the trim color of our house, because I have it. This is a much more like, not green, but it has a green undertone to it. So I don't think I have enough paint to go all the way around, so I'm giving it a try. But I'll just have to buy more. So I went around and painted it and did all of that, and hoo-ha, and this is our big industrial fan. But the best part about today was a basil came in.
Hello everyone. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kenneth. I am Darcy's son, her oldest, and she wanted us to do a quick video on whether or not we thought being around gardening as a child had impacted in our interest as adults. And I guess the quick answer to that would be yes, it did. When I was younger, I don't think I really had a big interest in gardening, or because I correlated it to having to work, which I don't think any child really overly enjoys doing. But it was an opportunity for me to spend time with my parents individually. So my mother would work a lot in her flower beds and her vegetable gardens, and my father would kind of do all the heavy manual labor associated with that, whether it was building a raised flower bed or putting together a garden or rototilling, or so I kind of got the best of both worlds. I got to work with my dad when it came to the more manual labor type stuff, and I had the opportunity to work with my mom in a different way, just learning how plants grew and when to leave them alone and let them mature on their own, and when not to, and when to prune and when not to, and what types of flowers grew in certain environments. And fast forward now as an adult, I own my own home. I've become very interested in gardening. It's actually one of the only things that brings me peace. And I've also noticed it's a great opportunity for me to spend some individual time with my children, because they all like different aspects of the gardening process. My younger ones really like to get out there and pull weeds, and my older daughter really is interested in kind of the planting process and how it grows and why I put stuff where I do. So overall, I would say, I guess subconsciously, probably growing up in an environment where gardening was a big part of our lives, it did eventually impact my interest, and I'm still pretty heavily reliant on my mother when it comes to the whole gardening process. I think probably weekly I call her and ask her if I'm doing something right or wrong. But I've learned a lot, and I really like it, to the point where I think I really need to buy a bigger house with more yards so I can grow more plants, vegetables, and so yeah, that's it.
So I don't know why anyone didn't remind me how much painting beadboards sucks. And I've got to stay sober till 7 o'clock for a Zoom birthday meeting. Ain't happening. Plus my arm is killing me. I did too much yard work yesterday. I'm too old for this shit. Ugh, I need a different profession.
So there's a little baby bird stuck in the tower. Our house. Tower area and it didn't make it out the front door. My dogs are being super great and listening, but now I can't find it. It came in here somewhere. Ay, ay, ay. This thing scared the shit out of me. It's on the kitchen counter.
So it's 5:30 in the morning and it's May 21st, both my stepson's birthdays and Darcy's youngest daughter's anniversary. So we've had a lot of birthdays. My parents' anniversary was yesterday. My daughter's birthday was on the 19th. It's a full week. It is so pretty outside, but it's freaking freezing. It's like 35 degrees. So I'm excited about my gardens because they're all starting to pop. Just fed my bees and
Look how sweet. Oh my gosh. Jacob's ladder and all my peonies ready to pop. So every year I move things because, you know, everything grows so much. Those are my hostas. Planted these little sweet things. A little sign from Tracy and Keith. And here comes my hosta garden. Good thing I did it when I did, because look at all my ferns and my hostas growing in. Yay!
Room to change. Like, subscribe, and share.